Hello and welcome to an extra video in the Lessons in Logic playlist. So I need to make this video to correct a mistake I made. I said, I think a number of times, that the truth table method could be used to test for validity any argument in theory. That was a mistake. I know I said several times the truth table method and the abbreviated truth table method alongside it could be used, at least in theory, to check for validity any argument that can be translated into symbolic statement logic. Well, that's just not true. What matters is whether you can translate the relevant portions of the pattern of an argument into symbolic statement logic. And some of those just can't be captured by symbolic statement logic. They can only be captured by categorical logic or some other system that combines both. So let me illustrate. Here's a simple argument. We had a guinea pig when I was a kid. We called him Squeaky. His real name was Spice, but he made a lot of those guinea pig squeaky noises. So Squeaky was his nickname. We can't test just any argument for validity using the truth table method. My apologies for saying otherwise. Now look at this argument. All guinea pigs are mammals. Squeaky is a guinea pig, so Squeaky is a mammal. If you try to symbolize that using the tools of statement logic, you'll end up with something like this. And I can't see how you'd have any difference other than what symbols you choose. You could use the letters A, B, and C, or X, Y, and Z, or here G, S, and M, and you'd still end up with the same invalid argument form. All guinea pigs are mammals. Squeaky is a guinea pig, so Squeaky is a mammal. G, S, therefore M. Not a valid form. You can test that for validity using the truth table, and you'll find it's not a valid form. That doesn't mean the argument is invalid. That means the argument has an invalid form. Remember, validity is what happens when the premises of an argument cannot be true and the conclusion falls at the same time. In other words, validity is what happens when the premises of an argument guarantee the conclusion. If the premises are true, the conclusion has to be true. Now, validity depends on form, not content, meaning it depends on the way we reason about things, not the things we're reasoning about. And we could say that we could say the same thing by using these words. Validity depends not on the things in the argument, but on the pattern we find them in the argument. Not the things in the argument, but the pattern the argument puts them into. The pattern of the argument matters, not what the argument is about. Now, every argument has more than one form. Every argument has more than one pattern. The simplest pattern of an argument is just premise, premise, conclusion. And even using the tools of statement logic here to be as specific as we can, we just have atomic statement, atomic statement, atomic statement, or atomic statement, therefore atomic statement. So the tools of statement logic just give us premise, premise, conclusion. The most general form this argument has, which is not valid. You have to use categorical logic to get the specific pattern of the argument. Patterns are more or less detailed. The most general pattern of this teacup is just cylinder, but there's variations here, and it's not just a straight circular edge, and there's this handle and everything. There's a lot of detail to the pattern of this teacup that's not just captured by the general pattern cylinder. It's got more detail, and an argument pattern has more detail sometimes than its general patterns. In fact, all the time. So categorical logic is needed to get the more specific pattern. It looks invalid, and actually the form is invalid, but not the argument. Translating using the tools of categorical logic, this is a Barber syllogism. The middle term is mammals. No, the middle term is guinea pigs. The major term is mammals, and the minor term is things that are squeaky. Squeaky being the specific guinea pig, not squeaky things, but things that are that particular guinea pig we call squeaky. All guinea pigs are mammals. All things that are squeaky are guinea pigs. All things that are squeaky are mammals. It's a perfectly valid argument. And you can only tell that using categorical logic. So the point is, sometimes validity depends on the form of the pattern that an argument has, down to the level of the details within the statement, not just the form taken by the statements in relation to each other. And to capture that form within the statement, we need the tools of categorical logic, not just statement logic. So basically, I was wrong. I overstated things. Sorry. And what you really need, if you want to be able to test any argument for validity, you need to be able to combine the resources of statement logic and the resources of categorical logic. And that's something I don't think I'm going to do in this series, if ever. But it is a more advanced system of deductive logic, and we call it predicate logic and it lets us pay attention to the form of the argument that you find when you look at how the statements relate to one another, and the form of the argument that you find within the individual statements, the patterns of, the categorical relations within the statements. All right, that's it. Sorry for my mistake. I hope this clears things up and also helps to illustrate one more lesson that there's more to logic than what I'm covering in this series. The next step, if we had world enough in time, would be predicate logic, but in case I never cover it, if you're interested, probably find some good primers online. All right, thanks for watching. I am finished with this video, and I think this will be an oddly numbered one, something 0.5, and after this, I think we're going to inductive logic. See you there.